Hi all, right back with more Labyrinth, playing the extended campaign. So this is going to be part 23, I think. Yeah, so I'm just about to head off to work to be honest, but I was copying something across there and I thought, let's just get a little bit more done and then things are going to slow down again now. Right, so it's on to the jihadist turn, is that right? Yeah, we done two one ops things. Yeah, we took the cell out of Serbia. That was it. Yeah. Okay, let's move on. They've got 3 cards left. We've got 3. Remember, we drew two more cards again, so I think that's why that's the case. Right, Iraqi WMD. Okay. Use this letter for regime change. Use this or a later card for regime change in Iraq at any governance. Remark if you do. Right, sounds like it's a good card, but it's the jihadist that's drawn it. So they've got 3 ops. So let's see. Let me get something. I really only have about 10 minutes, 15 maybe. So, playable non-US event, no. Is the major jihad poor possible? No. You can see there's only 1 cell out there. So there's no jihad possible. Hey, sorry. My bad. There's 2 cells down in Indonesia, Malaysia. However, major jihad requires 5 more cells than troops, isn't it? I think I would retain all this by now. 5 more cells than troops, non-Islamic rule, Muslim country, it has to be at poor, doesn't it? That's not true. No, it doesn't necessarily have to be at poor. Anyway, there's no 5 more cells than troops, so no. Is funding tight? No. Is there a cell in good or fair Muslim? No, the only cells are in poor Muslim countries. So no, we might be recruiting this time. No. Is there a poor Muslim 1 to 4 more cells than troops and militia? Yes. And Indonesia, Malaysia. This is not, but these have got 2, which is 1 to 4 more cells than troops and, well, militia's not involved yet as well. So yeah, that's a yes. That's a yes. Among candidates, well, there's only 1 candidate. Can we find travel to priority? Sorry, yeah, that's a travel to priority. Is there a movable cell adjacent to Indonesia, Malaysia? That's going to be a no. The only other cell that's there is Iraq, and it's not adjacent. So that becomes a no. Is funding moderate? No, it's a way up now, isn't it? Is funding moderate? No. Is there a cell available? Yes, it's going to recruit. Okay, so where are we going to recruit? It's been a while since we've done this. Poor Muslim 1 to 4 more cells than troops. Well, Indonesia, Malaysia then, I guess. Is that right, Grant? It's a poor Muslim. It's got 1 to 4 more cells than troops. The rest of that part I don't need to read. So yeah, so it's going to recruit. That's its priority. It's going to recruit there. So they'll be rolling on that, won't they? Yeah. Whereas they would. Yeah. Anyway, no, that's it. That's where they want to recruit. And they've got 3 ops. So they could technically recruit 3 cells, and we know then that'll be 5 cells. However, they do have to roll on this, don't they? So, recruit, place cells, any country with cells or cadres. Now, hold on. No, it's not. Doesn't matter. It's a poor country anyway. It's going to say if rec number you roll that or less. See that one there's got a rec number of 3 where it's fair, so you would roll. Yeah, I think you know what it is. You would roll 3 or less for that one. But we're in here as poor anyway. If rank number roll that or less for success, ignore governance. Ignore governance. If regime change, automatic success. It's not regime change. Place 1 available supercell, remove a cadre. Right, I feel the need to open the rulebook for that. Just because it just mentions the rec number, but I don't know. I just can't retain information these days. play these complex games and can't retain it all. It's only going to get worse as I get older, I suppose. For each successful roll, crew operation plays one sleeper cell in a country. Failed recruit has no effect. Country must have a cell. A few non-Muslim countries have printed rec numbers. Yeah, the thing is because it talks about the beginning of the jihadist operations, we need to roll 3 or less because it's a poor country. If it was a good country, it'd be 1 or less. We've got 3 shots at this, so they're going to roll 3 dice. We're going to use all their ops for this and see if they can get a 3 or less on any of them. Right, they get 2 successes. That was a 2. 2 successes and a failure. So I'd rather they didn't get the 3 anyway. So they get 2. They get 2 recruits now. But now we've got to start worrying about this down here. Because again, this is a 3 resource. I mean, we did kick them out of Gulf States, so they are back down at 0 points. But yeah, we don't want that. We don't want that happening. Okay, let's see if I can do one more card, maybe. Yeah, that's that done. So their second card. They used up all their ops. Taliban. So it's a 3 ops jihadist card. What is it saying? Taliban, Islamist guerrilla resurgence. Place Baziz regime in Afghanistan and a cell each there and in Pakistan. -1 prestige or -3 prestige if either are Islamist rule. And that is not nice. And it's going to knock our prestige down to medium again. I think I now have to probably do a disrupt on that cell. So hang on. Right, so this is playable. Place Baziz regime in Afghanistan. Afghanistan, yeah. Yeah. And a cell each there and in Pakistan. So we do have cells available. So they're getting 1 cell in Afghanistan with the Baziz regime. We've got 2 troops there, but so yeah, but I mean they're not active cells, and then 1 cell in Pakistan as well. Well, that's not good. Yeah, because in actual fact, these are both good countries, aren't they? So now they're going to start trying jihads in there. Oh, this is a horrible turn by them. And of course, I can't do anything with this, can I? No, because I can't disrupt. I can't disrupt because of the Fatah. Pakistan's looking in trouble now. After being safe most of the game up to now because of Benazir Bhutto, it's now looking like in a lot of trouble. And right, 1 cell in each, and then -1 prestige or -3 prestige if either of them were Islamist rule. So they weren't Islamist rule, so it's just -1 prestige, knocking us out at the high and the medium. That's horrific. Right, that was 2 nasty cards. So that was played for the event. That one wasn't. So they are both just discarded. They have 1 card left. We've got 3. Right. Probably as much as I can really do. That was just about 10 minutes. That's what I figured. I'm copying this thing across, but I'm a bit pushed for time though, so I might have to stop that. So looking at our cards, is there anything there going to help that situation? We don't want to play this card. It is just one ops. This is to place 1 aid in Iraq, which I'd like to have done, but I'm starting to think that, well, this could disrupt in Iraq. Maybe I'm playing this, you know that. I can place a cell in Somalia. There's a Baziz regime there, so it's then going to start targeting there because it'll be a priority because of that. There's a cell there, that's bad. I can disrupt. The fact I don't think I can do anything about Pakistan. That was so foolish allowing that to go to adversary and not realising the importance of it. In particular, when I had a card in my hand that I could deal with, attempt to deal with it. And now that card's away. So, play for Iraq, poor adversary. Yeah, you better watch. Oh no, that's blocked by Saddam captured anyway. Yeah, I've no need to worry about that. Not that Iraq is poor adversary, but it could suddenly turn like that, you know. But anyway, Saddam's been captured, so that's fine. I'm not really sure what to do here. I could spend 2 cards disrupting in Afghanistan and getting rid of that cell. The thing is, Grant, they are going to try a jihad there, aren't they? Don't get me wrong, they could jihad here as well. They've only got 1 cell. The cell's then going to become active. What you want to look at that? It's the flowchart I was thinking about glancing at. Going to come to here, selling good affair, and then minor jihad with the option Afghanistan or Pakistan. Thing is, without looking through the priorities, I don't feel like doing that. I feel like you're looking ahead as well too much. It might turn out as Pakistan. There's nothing we can really do about that. But remember, cell goes active, they try it, they've got to roll a 1, and then the cell goes if they don't roll the 1. If they do roll the 1, that's a different story. But okay, I'm going to leave things there. I don't think we get much done. So next card play is going to be US Action Phase. My first card play. I'm not sure when that'll be now. Work today. Good couple of jobs today and tomorrow, work-wise. And off Sunday, but I think I'm going to be doing other things. Might get a shot, I suppose. Next week back to early shifts. Yeah, I'll just get back when I can. I've got a lot done over yesterday and today has been really good. So I should make the most of that and enjoy that. Yeah, and we've got to watch this down here as well. Okay. Right, okay, I'll be back when I'm back. Now, this is only at 13-minute mark, so I will not have this as just a part. I will add some more to that next chance I get back. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Right, I believe this is a continuation to part 23, yeah, because I was thinking I hadn't started 23, but I think I want to say I grabbed 12 or 13 minutes or 15 minutes just before heading off to work. So I'm just putting my computer up now. I had to do a restart and whatever, an update. So I can't get into it just now. But that's fine. Although I would have preferred to start this, what I'm going to say here on a fresh part. But, well, like I say, I think I've done a couple of things. So I'm as well leaving them in there as well. Right, so since I uploaded the last part, now today I uploaded parts 19, 20, 21 I think. I watched them all. I had a chance on the train travelling back and forward to work and at work a bit as well. So I watched all of them. I want to say since uploading 19 or something, I've been flooded with lots of comments about things from Jean and Tim. Now I don't want you to flood me with comments. By all means, comment. But John's obviously following along, using the automated boat, checking everything out, and there's lots of stuff. I don't want to go through everything. You can look at all the comments and all the parts of the videos if you want. I'm up to part 11 just now, just about to talk about something, because there have been quite a number of mistakes also pointed out, not just the stuff that I'm maybe not aware about, this automated bot and how it deals with things and whatever. But I've made so many errors, it seems. Yeah, I'm gobsmacked, to be honest. I know you're not going to go through these games without any at all, and I think every one of the video playthroughs I've done is bound to have something in it. And I dare say you could look at every single game video out there in the wide world and struggle to find a game without something that was wrong, you know. So, yeah, just try to stick up for myself here. But yeah, I know I'm going to get things wrong or whatever. So, but I've left the comment in part 20 because that's the one I last uploaded. Well, I'll maybe get to the comment in a minute, but I'm going to restart this. I'm going to redo it. What I'm going to do is, there's not many cards left of this era. I'm going to finish out this deck, and we're going to just play this as a one deck game. I'm going to rename all the videos. Not to say extended campaign, but just to say, I don't know, one deck soul practice or practice. I mean, it wasn't meant to be in a practice as such, but there have been a lot of things that I've got wrong, and I'd like to think now I'm on board with a lot of things. I will say that because of all the things that are coming in, like recently, I could see myself getting some more things wrong, because it surprises me this game has been like this for me. It really does. I didn't think this would be an issue. And it's not just bot directions that I'm missing and bot flowcharts and whatever. It's other simple little things that are in the rules. Now, I will say that I find some of them a little in the rules and could be worded better. And I mean, straight away, I think I was talking about it recently, just right off, just while we're here. I mean, why call these two things the same? You know, it just confused me. I mean, I know they're two separate operations there. You can see they've been separated, but why call them two different things? And I mean, I suppose you could say the same about the jihad and the major jihad. These are called different things, right? But they're still a jihad. You know, I don't know. It's things like that are like, I don't know. I feel like they could have been written better. Maybe, you know. I don't know. Maybe it's just me that struggles with these things. It could well be. I've said that many a time. Right, okay, I don't want to go through all the comments. We'll get through things. I still think this will probably finish part 23 off. I think I've only got 15 minutes in front of this. I would like to think we could end the turn here, because I see the jihad, the bot's only got one card, I've got 3. I'm guessing it's my turn. I'll just need to double check where I am. So if I whiz through things, which isn't my way, but anyway, okay, let's get to some comments. I'm part 11 I'm looking at here. Right, and it's difficult to speak about these things. It's happened so far ago. I can't point at the map and point them out. I want to say that, I mean, the thing is, I've not replied to a lot of these, so Jean, you're going to watch this. I guess Tim's going to watch it. So if I don't get around to replying to your comments here, because it's going to take me a bit of time. There's that many of them over the last couple of days that... and when I've got the time, I don't really want to sit down. I certainly don't want to sit on my tablet and try and type them out. I've done 2 or 3 on the train coming home there. I want to sit on my computer where I can type, you know, and copy and paste stuff and all that easily, rather than faffing about on the tablet. So I'll hopefully get around to replying to them all. But if I don't, then I'm going to speak about the important ones here. Okay, so... like I say, it's difficult for me to go into it, but your comment at the 40-minute, 45-second mark on part 11, you're right. Both me and Tim, I'm sorry to bring you into it, Tim, have got this wrong. Yeah, because at the time, is it Iraq? What do you say here? This is true for Iraq, yeah. Iraq at the time has 8 cells. It has 8 or 9 cells, and we have the 6 troops. And of course the question on the flowchart is, and it's poor at the time. Is there a poor Muslim? Is it here we are? It must be, yeah. Or is it here? I can't remember. Anyway, is there a poor Muslim with 1 to 4 more cells and troops? Well, Iraq is at the time. So all the stuff that you've said there, and you have said that, by the way, this is exactly what you think the bot should do, just after complaining that the rules /bot are not that good. Well, the rules are getting worse for me. My last comment to you about you bringing up that in the flow in that event table, it's not telling you about priorities. It's not telling you about the priorities flowchart because it doesn't say the word flowchart, but it is telling you about the priorities table, even though it doesn't say the word table. So if you're happy, you know, whether you're going through this automated bot and it's telling you that, then that's great. But I'm not going to use that. So I need it written in the rules, or show me in the rules where it says it. You know. Anyway, yeah, I mean, I'm not so sure being complaining about the rules bots too much. What my problem was, it wasn't dealing with these events. It didn't really deal with in particular the Bootle, Benazir Bootle event. The GTMO one was just a one-off that kind of went away, but to be honest, I felt like it could have dealt with that better. But the Benazir Bootle one, when you avoided the path in the flowchart, it just started sending on the cells. However, later on in the game, I will admit, and I think I say this at part 20 as well, and Benazir Bootle was still in play at the time. I mean, she's been shot now, it's away now, but at that time she's still in play. And I do skip by the, I do the radicalisation. And yet, if I'd skipped by the minor jihad and come down the chart, I would have ended up down here recruiting in both these regime change countries probably, because they're auto recruit. So this is when I seen that, I started thinking, right, hang on here, Grant. That's, you know, it now looks. I think it's because time's passed and the cell's back on the track, you know. But at the time that there was no cells on the track, everything was going to travel to Pakistan because that's what the priority came out. But anyway, that case that you've brought up, admittedly, John, we did make a mistake with that, and you're right, it should have done that. Now the whole travel to thing, exactly what I done. Whatever. Did I reply to that? No. Right. He's replied to it, and just for fun, I changed the board state by moving. Right, I'm not going to read that because there's far too much. And sorry if I'm skipping by things, but I'm just trying to pick out the mistakes that I've made. And to be honest, I'm not really going to go into any more about this, what the automated bot has done and whatever, because I'm going to restart the game. So, there's a couple of comments from part 12 about how the bot operates and whatever. But if I start going through all these comments, I'm going to read through them myself and hopefully give you a response to it all, John. And it's not that I don't appreciate you trying to work this out. For me, I just want to get sort of moving, and I'm not going to go over every single little thing that the automated bot would have done, and that we're too far in the game for it as well. This was another mistake, and this is in part 13. He's commented at the 4 minute and 8 second mark. We were playing Darfur for the 3 ops. And this flowchart, right, without going fully through it, flowchart says selling good or fair Muslim. So the answer was yes, but there's 2 candidates. It says Gulf states, which you considered, but also Afghanistan, which you forgot. Afghanistan was in that state as well. Another mistake there. For jihad operation, check the note and use jihad column. I think I've done that, but anyway. And then he tells me what would have happened, but again, it was another mistake. Right, this is from part 15. I think there might have been some older ones, but this is the first one, most recent one. It was only 2 hours ago. Again from John, 20 minute 13 second mark. You're not silly, he starts with. I must be saying that I'm silly, but I don't know. So, the evil flowchart is used to select the operation to conduct, right? So we use this to find out the operation to conduct. Then you need to determine whether to execute it. 12.4.2 says, after an operation type has been selected using the evil, use the op flowchart to select the target country, which is here. So in your case, you should have forgotten about the non-Muslim condition that just helped selecting a plot operation. Right, so what happened here was, and it's timestamp 20 minutes 13 seconds. I mean, my reply to this is, I think he's right, but I mean, okay. We go through this, and this time funding's moderate at the time. So funding's moderate, so we go this way. This doesn't apply, so we go to sell available. which is a no. There's no cells available. So then it comes to here and asks the question, sell in a non-Muslim country. The answer to that is yes, right? So we plot. Just think about it if the answer to that was, if there was no, if there wasn't a cell in a non-Muslim country, it's going to travel. I'm trying to think of this myself because I'm trying to understand why it's doing this. I mean, I'm sure he's running it through this automated bot, and whether he's completely following why it's doing it or just telling me that that's what it's doing. Anyway, so the answer was yes. So it says plot, right? Now, I've got this in my head still. Okay? I believe it needs to be non-Muslim. And I think he is right in saying that, no, you reset now, and you move on to this, and when you've got plot, you move on to this, the flow chart, or do you just go down here? No, right, you go into this, right, that's what we think it happens, and you go through this. Now, since I've come from selling non-Muslim, I'm going through this, ignoring anything that's like Muslim. I come to poor Muslim, good non-Muslim. I think, did I go to non-Muslim? I can't remember what. No, it goes up there, doesn't it? Fair Muslim, I say no. Good Muslim, I say no. Non-Muslim, yeah. And then I come down here and then cycle through them, right? But I do think he's right. I think when you get to this, all you're doing is plotting. Forget about the rest of that. Then move on to this. And I think he's right there. But how confusing is that? If you're trying to switch on to this game, if you're trying to understand where this is going to happen, and you've got sell and non, I mean, there must be a reason it's asking that question, going yes, and the first thing I do, right, funding tight, no. Is there a poor country with troops and active cells? Now, it's not saying Muslim or non-Muslim. Remember, we do have a poor country in Nigeria, but I just say that's a no. So fair Muslim, and then good Muslim, and then non-Muslim. I mean, why is it pointing yes to the cell and non-Muslim and then going through the Muslim countries? Okay, I'm sure there's a reason for it, but it's sort of confusing. I think that's sort of confusing then, but anyway. And he tells me what would have happened, but I just said, I think you're right here, but why on earth would it ask if there was a cell in a non-Muslim and then plot in a Muslim country? You know, I suppose I'm just trying to understand it myself, but he has explained that it says in the rules that you use this to decide what operation, then you look at either if you're plotting, you use this part of the flowchart, if you're recruiting or travelling, 2, use that part of the flowchart, if you're travelling from, you use that part. It states in the rules that if you're doing a jihad, you don't have a flowchart, and you come to here. I mean, it's explained, but, man, yeah, okay. So that looks like another mistake that I've made, assuming he is correct with that, which I'm going to have to say that I believe he is. So, right, moving on. I want to quickly jump at this one. This is from part 16 minute, 22 second mark, again from John. Again, we're just going to have to try and read this and understand that, but I thought it was quite interesting, this one. If the first travel operation had selected Pakistan, right, what we've got is, it's a travel from, isn't it? We had cells in Pakistan, we had one cell in Iraq, and I think that was it. But there was a bunch of cells in Pakistan. So what he's saying there is, and Pakistan was adjacent. Oh, you know what? I'd really like to see this one because it's not something I'm not sure I would have thought of this. Right, what if, even the timestamp, I think I maybe need to go further back, but I don't want to dwell too much. So, where am I? Right, oh, I'm lost now. When was this? Was it 13, did I say? Yes. Was it 13? Comments? No, hang on, let me find this again. Yeah, so 16. So his comment is, if the first travel operation had selected Pakistan, the bot should have moved 2 cells from Pakistan, even if the second one would not have been adjacent / automatic success. As Iran was selected first and had only one cell, sure, you try to find another origin country since you have remaining ops to spend. So yeah, okay, I felt like that was right. So we moved one from Iran, or Iraq, was it not? Anyway, we moved one from there, then we came to Pakistan. There was still available to move from there. Now remember, you're going for the priority of when you're travelling from, you want to travel from and move to an adjacent country, and it's when we were targeting non-Muslim countries. What he's saying there, that if Pakistan had been the priority and India was adjacent and it had more than one cell, we had two ops, it had two cells, shall we say, it would automatically travel the cell to India, then it would have done the travel from the second cell, even though it wasn't adjacent. Just leaving this in here, if there was another country with a cell in it that was adjacent to a non-Muslim country, wouldn't have you have gone there after moving that one cell so that it was still adjacent? Or once this is set in and you've found the country, does that mean that you travel from them all there? I'll leave that there if that makes sense. Right, moving on. Right, I may have spoken about this one already. This is from 17. This was from Tam. The 1 hour, 1 minute, 42 second mark. It says the reason it says if Muslim, not Iran here is because the section is titled in a Muslim country or Iran. This is on block plots. Is it? Yeah. In a Muslim country or Iran. So he's correct there. And that's why it says if Muslim, not Iran. So that makes sense. So I think I did mention this before, didn't I? I might not have shown that bit. But sometimes it says it elsewhere. And I'm not quite sure that it is related, but maybe it just keeps it like that to keep it all sweet. Fair enough. Okay, and same video, part 17 at the 16 minute 25 second mark from Tim. The US is not auto-recruit. They still have to roll a 1 to successfully recruit there. The card was the one that was placed in the cadres if you had no cells. I had one cell, and it did just say on the card, recruit, and I just plonked the cell in the United States. Well, it would have had to try to recruit there. So yeah, I said yes indeed. Lots of gotchas in this game. Well, it seems there's lots of gotchas in all the games I play. Well, there's certainly a lot of gotchas in this game. Again, there's nothing I can do about that. It was beneficial to the bot. I think we got rid of the cell somehow. Actually, I'm wanting to say it might have been a good thing. The way we got rid of it was quite good for us. But anyway, right, and then here again, and yeah, I don't read this properly at first, because my response is, oh, okay, I didn't realise that, cheers. So at the 1 hour, 1 minute, 14 second mark, it says you reduce prestige by 1 for the first plot, but you never reduce it for the second plot. And actually, thought we were talking about, I don't know, I thought it was funding at first. But yes, now I haven't completely watched things through. We're sitting at medium just now, though, at 6. I want to say that we were at 7 for a little while, and I was like panicking at any rolls because we should be 1 less in prestige. And it's when they plotted, I made a mistake, put the plot, where did I put the plot initially? Afghanistan or Pakistan? Yeah, I think I put them in Pakistan. There was no troops there. When I realised my mistake, come back, the plot should have went in Iraq where there was troops, and it says when you remove plots from a country with troops, you get -1 to your prestige. There was 2 plot markers, I only moved it down once. So I'm going to do that now, so it's down at 5. And I've still not completely finished watching part 22, or the beginning bit of this part 23. So might have been that I had a roll in there with a +1 that I shouldn't have had. But you know what? Again, like I say, I'm going to restart all this. Right, and this was Jean's latest comment from, again, part 17, 21 minute, 29 second mark. You will not like this one, he says. He does agree, however, that they could have chosen more differentiating name to refer to priorities flowchart and the priorities table. So, the event instructions, let's get them out. Where are they? I had them out because I was looking at it myself, and I replied to this with, I mean, I disagree with this, but I'm not saying. Although I disagree, it could well be right. Okay, let's leave that at that. So event instructions for jihadist videos. Well, he's got what it says there, but I'm just going to suppose show you here. So jihadist videos, is that focusing? Because I noticed a card I brought up recently. When I'm looking at my glasses, it doesn't. I think it is. So it says US. Then use recruit and travel to priorities, right? Recruit and travel to priorities. That's what it says. Right, what is that? What is the recruit and travel to priorities? It's not this, right? I think we're all good with the fact that it's not this, right? This says operations priorities op flowchart. It's got the word flowchart. This says recruit and travel to. It mentions priorities. It mentions recruit and travel to, okay? Now, the word that was getting me going recently was the word table. Priorities table. So, but down here you've got recruit and travel to. You've got the word priorities. You've got the word table. So you've got table here and you've got flowchart there. Just put that in there, eh? Just put flowchart or table. And then we understand, right? Right, okay. So, he says... he's just said what it says in the thing. He says, notice that it does not mention flowchart in the special instructions. And it doesn't mention table, like you've already said at the beginning. Okay, but yes, right, this refers to priorities table, he says. Unfortunately, it does not mention table either. Correct. So selected country, and then he tells me what should have happened. I'm not going to go through that. I reply, unless you have some proof of this, then I disagree. Like you say, there's no mention of table. An example is the event instructions for martyrdom operation, right? Martyrdom operation is here. There was two of them. Use pot priorities table, right? Now, I couldn't find one that says use recruit and travel to priorities table, admittedly. Could it be that there's too many words there? I mean, there's space there. I've wrote in table. Okay. Anyway, use pot priorities table. If that was to be the same, then just don't put the word table in there then, and we'll understand that it's the table. And it's not. And remember, pot priorities have a pot priorities flowchart and a table. Pot. So, it says martyrdom operation which states use pot priorities table. Why would it specifically use the word table here? If you are right, then these rules are becoming far worse than I thought. I mean, yes, that's frustrating. If he's correct with that one, which, again, you know what, it could well be. And it's quite possible that he's using an automated bot here and then finding a different result to what I did and then saying to himself, why was that? And he's probably not picked it up himself until he's then went back and thought, it's picking that because, you know what, it's not looking here. It's not looking here, it's just directly looking there. Well, that's definitely not clear in the event instructions anyway, for sure. But anyway, right, I think there was one other thing there. Yeah, that's when I forgot to reduce the prestige as well. He picked up on that as well. Okay, getting there. Right, on to part 18. There's loads of comments on everyone. That's what I'm saying. I just flooded with everything. There's no way I'm going to try and reply to all these just yet. I might get around to it. I'll try. So this is from 29-minute, 10-second mark. I was going to hunt the card out, but I'm not going to bother. It says, even though Islamic Jihad Union had no effect, that was the event, right? The event was still triggered because it had no precondition and it was not blocked by another event. It should have been removed. The card says removed on the bottom of it. There was no grey text precondition that stopped it from doing anything. It didn't do anything. It wasn't blocked. However, it should have been removed. So what he's saying is that it shouldn't have gone in it shouldn't be in there. It should be in the remove pile. Yeah, good pick on that. Like, that's fair enough. He was about to jump on a plane to Scotland, apparently. Right. Because I was reading section 9. Right, I said I wouldn't go into these things. Right, the event that says to put, remember I says put 5 cells, it was a horrible event. Put 5 cells into somewhere. can't remember where it was regime change. I don't know. But it specifically said 5 cells, and we had no cells on the track at the time, I think. But my question had been, what if I had 1 to 4 cells? What would happen there? The event still got played for the other part of it. But he and both, as well, Jean followed up on this as well. He picked up on this as well. He said if there were 1, 2, 3 or 4 cells, you would play some. And both of them pointed out that it says in the rules to execute the event to the maximum extent possible. Another sort of tricky one that you could maybe let slip by, but maybe I've got that in my head now. And both him and John highlights the rule 12.4 by 1, which says play the event to the maximum extent possible. Right, okay. Then I'm reminded, I left a comment in the header about this. I'm reminded that I can remove cadre as well while there's troops there to gain prestige. And both Gulf states at the time and Iraq or Afghanistan, 2 out of the 3 they've all got troops, and 2 out of the 3 had cadres in them. And I'm sitting down here trying to work out how I can get my prestige moved up. And that was Tim just pointing out that you can do that. Right. He's talking about going soft. I'm not going that. Yeah. He's yelling at his phone, telling me to finish the regime change in Iraq first. I'm trying to do 2 regime changes, and that's just me not knowing the game at all. Right, this is part 19. Tim at the 43-minute, 20-second mark. And it's when we have the choice of Pakistan, which has still got Benazir Bhutto in play, or the Gulf states to do a minor jihad in. The priorities lead us to Pakistan, I think probably because it's good. But I say to myself, well, we can't do it there because Benazir Bhutto, right? Fair enough. Now, if it had just been Pakistan, the way I was playing it at the time, and I'm going to totally reverse this way of playing it, by the way. I'm totally going back to just following the flow chart, right? I mean, and if this mess happens again in my next game, and Benazir Bhutto comes up, and by the way, if I get it in play again, I'll be playing it, because it's a good card. It stops him, and I'm just going to let the bot, I'm just going to follow exactly what it says. Minor jihad? No, move on. You know, that's it. But anyway, if the choice was between the 2 and it picked Pakistan, what I then done was, right, well, I still have the Gulf states I can do the minor jihad in, so I'm going to do it there. So Tim's reply to this was, that seems like the best choice in this situation. And he also says, I'm beginning to feel less confident in my interpretation of how to interpret the flowchart when certain operations are blocked by events in play. I just wish the rules for the new bot addressed that better. Yes, indeed. I agree with there, because I'm feeling less confident about it as well. I've admitted it. I've said in part 20. But I also agree with him there that it should be clearer. They should be able to deal with the events better. Not just sort of like, right, what do you do when you get to here? Right, you've got to make a choice. I mean, I don't know. The problem is that I think most folk are saying, well, I can't do that, so let's go back and let's move on. And that's what I'd done at first. I did do that at first. And I'm not knocking Tim for coming up with the idea here, because when he came up with the idea, when I seen what was happening in Pakistan, I thought, this is a joke, you know. I mean, the GTMO thing with the recruit wasn't quite so bad, but anyway. I said, hi Tim, I do think in this case it's fair to still carry out the jihad. Yeah, I think that was okay. I mean, yeah, I think that was okay. And if we had been doing it the way that I'm going to do it now, and we'd went here to see if there was a minor jihad available, there's not one available there is one available there, so I would still do it there, that's fine. I wouldn't jump back there and say and move on then, because I've left the Gulf states in that state. So I said, however, I'm starting to feel the same regarding this, and I've left a comment in the header part 20 with a timestamp to where this situation doesn't play out very well. I totally agree with you that the rules should be taking much better care of all this. And my comment in part 20 is regarding, again, the same situation. Well, I think I spoke about it already. 31 minutes, jinx. On top of I think it's 12 or 13 or 15 or something. Right, and here's another mistake. mean, I must admit, when I was going through this procedure, it felt... stop part 19, 56 minute 47 second mark. It's... Is it radicalization it's talking about? Yeah. Again, yeah, he's pointed out that you stopped reading too soon again. But it seems to me somebody, well, I think it was John said that was my signature, or somebody said it was my signature. Yeah, so here, radicalization. If jihadist bot performs no operation, or an operation using fewer ops than the card's ops value, perform radicalization operation as follows, with any remaining ops using reserves if possible until a total of 3 cells/roles have been used with the card. And it's a very last bit with the card, because you could even think a total of 3 cells roles. And what I had done was I'd already used one operation to travel, and I had 2 left, and there was 2 reserves. So in actual fact, does that not mean they should have... No, I can't really get them the reserves back, can I? Because they used them for 3 more ops. So in actual fact, they used 4 ops that turn. I mean, I was scratching my head a little bit of that, but yeah, that's another error that... Again, thanks for bringing all these up, but... Right, I think we're getting to the end. So 20... I've got 20 and 21, right, hang on. Right, 20 is just got my comment at the beginning. Although that guy... sorry, I didn't pick the name up there. Hang on. Hamler. Unfortunately, decided to restart the campaign grant. Yeah, the bot rules are a bit complicated, and I wish it was a bit more in-depth for certain situations. I'm still excited for a clean start though, and I hope you are too. And I replied, yes, I am. I'm really excited to do this again, and I'm going to do it again. I've been really enjoying it. Hung up with a few things, but I want to play it through, and I want to get on to the next 2 errors and bring in the different rules as well. So my comment in the header is hi all, and then the timestamp is 38 minutes 40 seconds. I said, this is a case where I'm now feeling that stopping at minor jihad to carry out radicalisation is wrong. Here the bot would have probably ended up recruiting in either Iraq or Gulf states. The rules haven't been clear on how to deal properly with these events that have been blocking certain operations, however, so it's a bit of a shame. Going along with Jean's investigation into how the automated bot deals with this, however, it does seem that it will ignore the flowchart box if it can't carry out the operation and will revert to the previous flowchart box. This also does appear to be the way most folk see how to deal with this. I wish the rules did a better job of explaining this though. Again, maybe I'm just in the minority in that, but I don't know. So, carry on. Over the last few parts, I've had many comments, and a lot of these comments have been aimed towards mistakes that have been made. I'm really enjoying the game, but with all the mistakes and the avoidance following the flowcharts at times, I've decided to restart the game. What I'm going to do is play this deck out and call it a one-deck game. I'll rename all the videos in this playthrough accordingly. I'll then start the extended campaign again from scratch, sticking by the flowchart and not making mistakes. Yeah, good luck with that one. Parts 21 and 22 have already been recorded, so this will be discussed when I record part 23, hopefully tonight, as I'm doing right now. And yeah, this is just going to be a part of nothing, isn't it? Right, one more video to look at that I've uploaded, and there's no comments, right, as of yet. Okay, I can plug things in, and can you finish this turn, 35? Right, let me go and see what we've got in front of this 35 minutes. Right, right. I've actually not copied it off the phone, so I'm going to have to stop this and go and see what it is, so give me a second. Right, just one more comment, just come in from John, replying to my, I disagreed with what he said. I said, unless you've got proof. He says, I have no proof as such. I can only say that in other cases, flowchart is always mentioned, and that the app read it like that, read it like me. I should say the author of the app read it like this too. So, right, okay. I can only assume he means that he read it in the flowchart like that, and then the app actually done that as well. So I'll leave that at that. I mean, I still, I still would. You know what? Whatever. Write it in the thing. Write table in the thing. Write the word table. I'm not gonna. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do when I get to that bit again. But it's yeah. I'd probably need to look up in BGG to find out. I think, and I'm not sure I get any joy there because I certainly not got really. Didn't really get many answers to our questions and whatever. Really, all I needed was somebody to come along and probably wouldn't have had all these problems. Mind you, don't get me wrong, a lot of the errors that I've made, and that's probably the main reason I want to restart, is because a lot of the errors I've made are just me not seeing it. Yes, there's some there that are like unseen, unseeable, shall we say? Right, okay, I'm gonna get this turn finished, I think. Okay, right, what I'm gonna do, I've got 3 cards left, it's got 1. There was only 15 minutes, so 35, 40. I think I'm at 50 minutes or so can we quickly. To be honest, this part's a bit of a. And you know what? I'm a bit deflated now that I know we've not got much more to do here, but the fact I know I'm going to start again. Right, come on, Grant. You were enjoying playing your cards, so we know we can get away with playing this for nothing. Place 1 aid in a rack. We want to discard that. Yeah, we don't want to play that. So we've got a 3 and a 2. I just try to catch up on where we are and what was doing. Of course, the rack's got 2 cells in it now with that Sadir event, yeah. Well, Gulf States, I mean, I think Tim was trying to hint on about, like, concentrate on one regime change and get rid of that. And now we've got problems here, though, haven't we? Because, I mean, well, hold on, they've only got, I say they've only got 1 card left, but remember, they start the turn. This 1 card left could quite easily recruit here. And then they start the turn by doing a major jihad. So, and you don't want any more of that. So, yes, we've got to get 2 successes, but, so well, that's a 3. What's the, well, I mean, I disrupt, but I'm just going to make them active, innit? That's all I can do. Where's the other chart? Here. Can I? No, because they're at neutral, so a war of ideas is only going to shift it to ally if I get a result. This ain't good, is it? No, I don't think there's much more I can do. I've got a 3, like I say, and a 2. Right, I think. Yeah. Trying to do the War of Ideas in the Gulf States. That's a -1 modifier, isn't it? Should we try Saudi Arabia again? In fact, it's got aid. I mean, I can't do it in Iraq now because there's 2 cells. And again, that would be, well, it wouldn't be a -1. The reason that's a -1 because it's trying to move to good. Right, Saudi Arabia would be the best bet because to be honest, if I succeeded, if I play this card and succeed with a war ideas there, the aid marker stays, remember, then I could have a go with this card. If you just place 1 aid in Iraq. It's all very well having an aid in Iraq, but you now need to get rid of this. See, I had the opportunity to get rid of that cell, I think. Or... yeah, we can't disrupt that Sadir, can we? If the cell's removed... no, hang on. It's an active cell but cannot travel or be disrupted. Just wonder about trying to get my prestige. I mean, I did move that down, didn't I? Yeah, because I forgot about the thing. Grant, if you're not gonna play this game, you're just gonna play to the end tier anyway. Just do something. Right, I'm gonna play this. This is bought by Saddam Captured. So the event's not triggering. We're gonna get 3 ops. And I think I'm just gonna do a war ideas in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, let's just do that. So, and we've got an aid marker in there, so there's no penalty, there's no prestige bonus, there's just the aid marker. So there's a +1 to this, and remember we need a, well, yeah, there's an aid marker there, so we need a 5 or a 6. So 2 + 1 is 3, so that's a failure. What a waste. They seem just so painfully wasteful, don't they? A 3 ops card away. Right, so I've got a 2 op. Well, it's a 2 ops one. Well, I'll just play it for the event. Place 1 aid in Iraq. I mean, I could have a go at the Gulf States with it, but we're getting a -1, so I need to roll a 6. Well, I could end up with aid. So 5 would give me an aid marker in there. This straight up places an aid marker in Iraq. What the heck? I'm just going to do that. Yes, I'm going to play 1 aid in Iraq. Well, actually, then we're playing that event, aren't we? 107. Let's have a quick look here. It would be one with a big bunch of text. Kurdistan. Sufficiently armed and organised to maintain a territory inside Iraq but beyond Saddam Hussein's control, the Kurds were the masters of adroit manoeuvre against the odds to keep the possibility of an independent Kurdistan and play against the immediate interests not only of Baghdad but Ankara, Tehran and Damascus as well. Nor did they overplay their hand in the aftermath of Saddam's removal, occupying senior positions in the new Iraqi government, even as they maintained autonomy in Kurdish areas and battled for the claim to the oil-rich city of Kirkuk against Arabs and Turkmen. Yeah, so I'm just going to play that. It says, if US play, place 1 aid in Iraq. Let's just go with that. Like I said, I'm now just winding this game down to start again. But looking forward to it. Going to take a bit more care. Easily said, but not so easily done. Anyway, 1 aid marker in there. The 2 cards were done. They were both, well, they're both just going discard pile. That's fine. Right, quickly moving on. Finish this, and then I can hopefully get the last. Yeah, this could be the last. Well, I'm not going to get the whole turn done. I've got a bit of time though, a little bit of time. Right, well, I'm discarding my last card. They've only got 1 card, so let's just play their card. Right, it's a US event. So 3 ops. Flowchart. Playable non-US event. No major jihad success possible. Not quite. Major jihad needs 5 more cells and troops. So no. Funded tight, no. Is there a cell in good or fair Muslim? There is. Yeah, these 2 cells just came in here recently, didn't they? That was the thing to concern me, but yeah, technically you could have Grant. Maybe you should. But it just felt like that was a waste. This is a 1, but then this might not be a 1 anymore once they're done here. Well, let's hope they don't roll the dice well. So there is a cell in good or fair. So they're going to do minor jihad. You've got Afghanistan and Pakistan. That's where the 2 cells. Oh yeah, I remember I got rid of the cell that was floating about doing all the nonsense up there, didn't I? That seemed like it was an idea. Right, okay, so we're going to decide between Afghanistan and Pakistan. Hold on though. they've got 3 ops here. So, in actual fact, I don't really need to go through priorities here, do I? They're going to do it. One's going to do it in there, and then one's going to do it in there, aren't they? Quickly looking, I suppose. I don't think this matters. So this is a jihad, so we don't look at. There's no flowchart. Jihad. Pakistan enlists no arsenal. There we go. Right. So Pakistan's going to be the first jihad attempt. Remember, they've got 3 ops. So this is their first ops. They've got 2 left. This goes active. They do a jihad. They need to roll 1. We got a 2. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Well, that's a failure. That goes back to the track. Right, and then they use their second ops to do a jihad attempt. Oh, Baziz regime. That's only for major jihad then, yeah? I mean, it must be, because it's an automatic success. Yeah, feels sort of silly looking this up, but just give me a sec. Yeah, Baziz regime, it's under jihad, actually. A country with a Baziz regime marker requires only 1 successful jihad roll rather than 2 to shift it from poor governance to Islamist rule. A country may have at most 1 Baziz regime marker, remove the marker of governance, shift to good or Islamist rule. Oh, what's that good? Should that be there? Remove the marker if governance shifts to good or Islamist rule. Well, it's not shifted to good, Grant, but has that maybe been placed there illegally? Well, it was a card. In fact, was it not just a recent card that we'd done that placed it there? Hang on. Yeah, there it is, there. Taliban. That was the last card they played, actually. Place Baziz regime in Afghanistan and a cell each there in Pakistan. Yeah, that's where the 2 cells came from. Well, I mean, it just says to place it there. It doesn't mention anything about being good. It must be when it shifts to good. Fair enough. I mean, it's not shifted to good while we're doing this, so... okay, so this Baziz regime only matters to a major jihad. It needs to be poor, you know. So it's not helping them there. So the cell goes active. They need to roll a 1. They get a 5. So no. So good. So that was 2 cells that we got away with, really, to be honest. So that goes back to the track as well. Now hang on. No, it's jihad. It's been removed by jihad, so no cadres left. Is that right? I keep forgetting. I really do, honestly. Like I say, you would think I hadn't played this game before. I have played it before. I just can't retain it. Oh, I can't retain it these days. Yeah. Disruptor event, it leaves a cadre. Jihad or travel, it does not. Right, so that was jihad. So that's 2 other ops. Yeah, and you know what? When we were back here at this flowchart thing and to try to deal with the Benazir Bhutto and then going to radicalisation, I thought, when else are they going to really have much chances to do radicalisation? But you can see they do. We've got 1 point left here to radicalise, so that's what they're going to do. So 1 point left. Right, they're just going to try and travel again, aren't they? There's no cells in the US. They've no reserves. Okay. And remember, here, if they had reserves, they wouldn't be allowed to use them. Because this is a 3 ops card, and you can only do 3. Yeah, another mistake, like I say. US posture is hard, it is, and there's no global war and terror penalty, there is not. Travel to unmarked non-Muslim countries, choosing the origin first, right? Well, we've got a cell in Iraq, and you've got the 4 cells in Indonesia and Malaysia. So we're wanting to travel from adjacent. Iraq can't find an adjacent non-Muslim country. Indonesia and Malaysia, well, they're adjacent to these two non-Muslim countries, but they've both been marked, so that's not any good. So then it goes to travel from a not a recruit country. So yeah, so it's going to use the one in Iraq. Now, remember, it won't travel the last sellout, but Sadir's still there, so I think that covers it. And Sadir cannot travel or be disrupted. So I think that's fine, because it wouldn't normally travel this last sellout, would it? Because it's regime change. Yeah, that's got me thinking about things as well. But I think this got removed through jihad anyway. I mean, there's nothing to say it wouldn't do a jihad with its last sale, is there? It's only travelling. Yeah, that's not ringing a bell. That's not ringing a bell. Right, so we're going to travel this cell out of Iraq. I'm kind of annoying that it's an active cell and it's going to go sweet. Well, it might not succeed because it's not got an adjacent non-Muslim country. So it's going to have to travel to somewhere else. Yeah, it says, here we are. We'll only travel the last cell in the Nauru country of at least two other. Yeah, but that counts. The deer, I think, covers it anyway. Yeah, okay. So we're going to try and travel to, and it needs to be a non-Muslim country. So, can't you just look at this yourself, Grant? US is no good. I think it'll come to the US as being the first sort of option. And US is not good because it's marked already. Russia is already marked, would be the next one. I don't think we find any in here, do we? It's not recruit, best year DRM. Same posture as US, so it's got to be unmarked. Where there's the most cells, well, no, that doesn't make sense. Adjacent to Islamist rule, no. Oil exporter, right? So no. So there's nowhere we can pack. So we're going to have to look at all the unmarked Muslim or non-Muslim countries and roll between that. I think it's just all these up here, isn't it? I mean, down here we've got this is marked, this is marked, this is marked. Nigeria down here is marked. Oh. Ooh, did I miss that? No, we tried to travel it before because it was right beside this, and that's what I was like. How did you not notice that at the time, Grant? So that, well, hang on. Yeah, sorry, I've skipped by Poor Then, Fair Then Good. My favourite. I think John made a point of that. I must say that one quite a lot. Well, it's Poor Then, Fair Then Good. I suppose maybe my argument was good then fair then poor there or something, wasn't it? So that would be after the US. So Poor Then Fair Then Good. Well, that's going to get this, isn't it? Because I think all of them are good up there. And all the other fair ones, Russia, Caucasus, China, Thailand, Philippines, which is just out of view, have all been checked. Remember, Iran's got its own way of doing things. So I think it's going to do it in here. It's going to attempt to travel from Iraq to here. So that means it needs to roll a 2. Yeah, that's right. It's why it's doing Poor Then Fair Then Good, because poor's would be a 3 or less, fair's a 2 or less, whereas good's a 1 or less. Right, so it's going to roll. It needs a 2 or less to travel. Gets a 5, so misses as well. That's great, because it leaves only that one cell. We can't disrupt that, but now we can do War of Ideas, and we'll put that aid marker in there. So sort of one of the things you probably wouldn't have done if you were the player right now, but that's fine. I'll let it go. Right, that was our last ops. I might be rushing things here, but just try to get this turn finished. And I'm really going to try and take my time more, I think. This is my last card. I'm discarding it. I'm not playing that event, so that goes away. Right, quickly finishing the End of turn, -1 funding. It's down to 7. There's no Islamist rule, so no prestige loss for us. We're not getting a prestige. Remove lapsing events, there's none. Reserves to 0, they're both at 0. Deal new hands, regime change to tan, there's none. Right, okay, so just deal new hands, however, we're getting 7 again, they're getting 9. But how many cards have we got here? Well, we might. No, I don't think so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got 13 cards and we need, 16, eh? So, what happens there? Right, let me go and find out. I think I might have the book open at the right bit. Page 7, deal. It's about cards here, eh? I'm hoping this is what it's going to tell me. Next, deal the jihadist news side alternate cards up to the numbers indicated by the funding and troops track and begin a new turn. Deal the indicated number of cards to the US player regardless of whether player... Right, okay. Come on. If we've not got enough cards... Come on, surely it should just tell you that. Am I just meant to assume that he gets 1, I get 1, he gets 1, I get 1, and up until we have to stop? I put 2.4, final US card. Surely this tells you in here. Draw and discard piles. Right, remember you've got a habit of no reading on, Grant. Whenever a card... hold on. I think it probably is here. Whenever a card is to be drawn, but the draw deck is exhausted, right, reshuffle the cards and discard pile and lapsing in first plot. Oh, maybe this is the end. If it is the game end, reshuffle, the game immediately ends. Oh, boo. Well, I'm not ready to start the new game. That would... So, if you've not got enough cards, and don't get me wrong, if I was right now... Right, hang on. If I was reshuffling... I need to look at the new rules for that, wouldn't I? Hang on a second. Right, because I've never done this moving into the second deck, so I'm not sure. But it must be these rules. I mean, in the new rules, it says that when we first draw the Awakening cards, deck 2, what it says... Where are we? Awakening expansion rules, player aid card and end of turn sequence commence with the first card draw from deck 2. At that moment, place an awaken marker and blah blah blah. There's a few things that will happen. So, I mean, that's what would happen if I was carrying on playing the game like I had intended. But I want to restart. So, whenever a card is to be drawn but the draw deck is exhausted, reshuffle the cards in the discard pile and lapsing in first plot boxes. Why would there be cards in the lapsing box? Alright, okay. Yeah, it could be if you were just drawing a card and there was no cards left, to create a new draw deck and advance the deck marker 1 box to the right. If it is the game end, reshuffle 3.3, 5.1. The game immediately ends in time of victory. 3.3, 5.1. Okay, what's 3.3? Selecting length of play. Yeah, I mean that's what I was doing, but end play 2.3 when a card is to be drawn but the deck is exhausted. So it just cuts the game off before you look at... So you don't get through all the cards then. I mean, fair enough, but... 2.3. Nah. Okay. See, I don't know if I've got the time... I just wanted to get a bit of play. I thought I was going to be able to play the rest of these cards out. Well, do you have the time to set it up? And maybe an awful lot of set up and then shuffle the deck up, and I don't want to rush it because I want to be calm. What I might do is, and I don't know, we check. I mean, we've got 3 points. They've got none. Does it not say if we've got more than double them or something? We would win it or something? That's sort of relevant. I was going to move on anyway. Right, what I might do, this part's clearly too long. What I might do is just deal the rest of these cards out and play a bit another turn. Or I might come back with a new version of the improved, mistake-free, following the flowchart to its max, new extended campaign game. That would probably be better. It does look like, but let me know if I finished, if I did finish the end of that all right, because we've not got enough cards to fill a new hand for each player. It seems like that's when the game would have ended if you're just playing a one deck game. Let me know if I've got that right for sure, and I'll see. I might come back with just one more part in this, mess about with the cards, or I might restart everything. Okay, cheers.